Good morning. I'm Alexandria Bias. Over the past century, student populations have increased exponentially. This is because of the increasing world population, which today is almost 6 times what it was just a century ago, and the increasing percent of people in the world who are trying to get an education. Just a century ago, this percentage was close to 25%, but now it's closer to 85%. School systems are trying to accommodate the growing number of students, and oftentimes they turn to increasing class size to make sure that they can give all students the education that they need. Since the 1970s, class size has been a heavily researched topic, but most of the research that has been done has been primarily focused on primary schools students rather than secondary and post-secondary school students. This has led to the misconception that students other than primary school students cannot benefit from smaller class sizes, but this couldn't be further from the truth. A study on Pakistan's secondary students found that higher class sizes are associated with underachievement. This study focused on a group of what they deemed to be underachievers as well as a group of overachievers in order to see what things cause the difference in their achievement levels. The low p-value here means that it can be concluded that there is a negative correlation between class size and achievement level. So in other words, as class size increases, achievement level decreases. But why does this happen? A study on Hong Kong students in which 4 teachers were each given 2 classes, one large class and one small class, found that the reason that smaller classes have higher levels of achievement is because in smaller classes, students are more engaged. Even though the teachers were teaching the same material with the same lesson plan, the way that the students received the information that the teachers gave them, as well as the way that the teachers interacted with their students, was completely different between the 2 classes. Although the benefits of class size are clear, and it's definitely clear that smaller classes are better than larger classes, some people believe that the high financial cost that's required to decrease class sizes and hire more teachers to accommodate smaller class sizes is not worth the benefits that come with smaller classes. Although the huge benefits that accompany small class size are well worth any costs, there are low-cost ways to reduce class size, either literally or to make classes feel smaller. One of these ways is to switch from large core classes like math and science and English to large elective classes like physical education. Another way is to switch from a lot of admin on a high salary to hiring more teachers. There are techniques that teachers can implement to make a class feel smaller, or in other words, increase that engagement that comes with a smaller class. So some of these things include switching from traditional rows in classrooms to table groups that cause students to feel more comfortable talking to each other and cooperating with each other, in other words, increasing that engagement level. Another way is to ditch the traditional multiple choice that have a right answer and a wrong answer, and switch to more open-ended questions that allow students to truly show what they know and feel like they're getting more correct. What questions might you have? Thank you.
Alex, I have 2 questions for you. How reliable and valid were the sources that you used, and how do you know so?
All of the sources that I used were from professionals in the area of class size, people that studied it. So the studies that I used, such as the one in Pakistan and the one in Hong Kong, were conducted by people who have studied the area of class size for a very long time and know about it.
Okay, and explain to me how certain you are that your solution is the best way.
So I think that the best way to ensure that these benefits would come about would be to spend the money on them. But because that's not really feasible for what the education budget is and what the national budgets are all around the world, I think that the second best way of doing it would be to implement these more creative techniques to make class sizes feel smaller or be smaller but cut back on other things.
All right, thank you.